just going to up the
volume.
input.
Yay!
Oh, well, that looks pretty good from here. But
Okay.
anyway, let's talk about what's been happening in the world. Apparently the foot is up again and the leggy is down. So, I don't know the difference, but
Yeah,
I think that's good news for our economy. We can all be happy that our little foot has been up in the air and it's gone up 50 points. I think that's a good thing.
England were thrown out of the World Cup, Euro Cup, and not a single fuck was given.
Yeah, let's not
at
mention
least.
the football. Everyone's mentioned the football. I was out on my birthday when it happened. An angry lynch mob almost took their anger out on me, of all people.
I was too busy doing other things like being a person.
Exactly.
You know, not watching a bunch of faggots run up and down a pitch doing nothing else.
And also some interesting news. Apparently, the Queen has met with the former IRA leader, Martin McGuinness, for the first time, and it's very symbolic because I think they had always been separated. Now they're meeting and the Northern Ireland peace process has gone any further. Any comments from our people?
Don't care.
He's just trying to get close to the Queen so he can blow her up.
I wish.
Surely he would have just done that if that was his original plan. I mean, he already blew up Battenberg.
Why can't anyone blow up anything that's actually a conceivable threat to the world, like Korea or Japan?
Do you want people to blow up Japan?
If they're going to build... well, considering that their government has just authorised it so they can build robots now to fight their wars, yes!
I'd rather Japan take us over.
Yeah, she would like to be dominated by the Japanese.
You're missing the essential point. What sort of beef does the IRA have with the country of Japan?
Well, it's a... What do you mean, beef? No one actually has any real legitimate beef with any country. It's just take them out before they take us out. That is how it works. That's why America is at war. It's not to take anyone out because they're a conceivable threat. They're just trying to rape the resources.
My main thought about the events in Northern Ireland is, what would they talk about? Surely it'd be an awkward encounter. I bet they'd be like, so, Queen, do you watch much TV?
Oh yes, we're very used to watching that old telebox.
I think after a few drinks they'd probably hit it off. Seriously.
Apparently the Queen liked I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, at least the first season when I was watching.
Well, she didn't like the second series that she was actually in. After that, she hated it. But anyway, more news. There's some breaking news about what's been happening with this LIBOR banking company. Essentially what's been happening is that banks are fixing interest rates so that they've been deliberately swindling people with mortgages and homeowners out of their money, and essentially what we usually think of is people robbing banks, but now banks are actually robbing people. I think the world's turning into opposite mode before it ends at the end of the year.
Does that mean the robbers are going to chase the cops?
If we're
It wouldn't surprise me.
If we're going into opposite world, does that mean people will be run by a competent government?
I don't know. I think that's still a bit... Maybe in 20 years' time, when some clever people are born.
Nah.
People that aren't like us and just talk about random...
I don't know, maybe they need an intelligent person to be emperor.
Ah, yes, just like Japan. Maybe that's why the IRA don't like them. Maybe they're jealous of Japan.
I don't think we actually have a beef with Japan. Japan's only got beef with America. Japan's only got beef.
We got your beef.
Stop being an idiot, please.
That's very difficult for me, believe me.
For once. Japan
we'll need some DNA surgery.
Well, Japan only has a beef with China because China just won't let things go, and America because obviously America fucked up their entire gene pool for the next few generations with the Hiroshima bomb.
Yeah. I mean, that was a real bombshell that was dropped on them, wasn't it?
It's not funny.
I think it's hilarious.
It's not funny.
I know it's not. Millions of people died.
It's not just that. It's not just that. They are being affected now, and because of the radiation from that, it's fucked up their DNA. So a lot of people are having babies born without eyes or limbs and things. It is not a funny thing.
Brings a tear to my toe.
You're an asshole, and you're going to die horribly.
Are there any Japanese people listening? That was Seb talking, no one else.
He's a dick.
I don't hate the Japanese people. If there's any Japanese people listening, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
You're a cunt.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to say that, but I'll let it slide.
I don't give a shit, you're a cunt.
Yes, I'll let it slide. Okay. Another event that's been happening is the No to Independence campaign has been launched by none other than Alistair Darling in Scotland. Interesting enough, it's one of those rare situations where all three main party leaders in Scotland and outside Scotland have come together to oppose this. So, do you think it's the beginning of a new era of consensus in our politics, Ollie?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? How about you, Sam?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's alright. You know, a bit of fun. Let's get together and be alright.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about what's been happening in the news. There's been a lot of flooding. What do you think will happen next week, judging by this week's calamity?
People will drown.
Ollie?
I really don't know.
People will be burned. People will drown, depending on which god their killers are worshipping.
Yes.
See, the Lord of Light wants his victims burned, the Drown God wants them drowned. Oh, wait, sorry, I've gone into Game of Thrones mode.
No, we're just getting it in. The Fire God wants them to freeze, the Ice God wants them to burn to try and mix it up a little, and Vlad the Impaler suddenly wants the Queen of Scots to run naked through the streets of Coventry.
My personal prediction is that the banks will scare all the MPs out of Parliament and they'll end up taking over within the week. And also, because of the army cuts, they'll have to leave Afghanistan and invade a city in England, perhaps Doncaster or maybe Haverston or maybe Hereford.
Haverston, not Haverston.
Haverston! Lady Haverston.
No, they'll probably invade Haverston and then they'll just have to deal with inbreds and old people.
Anyway, on that, I think we'd better call it.
Yes, on that shameful display of geographical ignorance. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Okay, thank